everyone, so this video is going to be my original EXO book tag. I am also wearing the exact same thing that I wore for a video that I did earlier this week, but I just really love this, so I wanted to wear it again. Yeah, so a while back, a few weeks ago, a month ago, I don't even know, I did my version, or my original BTS book tag, and EXO is one of my favorite male K-pop groups. For me, it goes Big Bang, BTS, EXO. They are my top 3 favorite male groups. I love EXO to bits. I've done videos for their comebacks, for their music videos. I just did one for the Coco Bop comeback. I did a video yesterday unboxing the album because I bought it and I loved it. I was actually waiting to get my album so that I could do this tag because one of the questions is like merch related. So, but yeah, I just think it's really fun to do this tag and I like how I do it. So I have 10 questions, more or less about bookish questions, and then I have 10 questions that are related to EXO. That way you can just fangirl and talk about your faves. So I will link my BTS book tag down below if you want to check that out. I also have an entire playlist of just all my like K-pop stuff, and EXO is throughout. So I will have bookish questions first, and then we're going to dive into the EXO related questions. And like I said, that's just like who's your bias record, da da da. I also didn't think of answers for the book tag questions, but we're gonna just go along with it anyways. Alright, so I have all the members here and I'm just gonna go ahead and go through all of them. I'll have a little thing down here of what the question is. I'm gonna copy and paste everything down below in the description. But yeah, so the first one that I did is SUHO, and a leader-like character who treats those he leads with respect and love. And I chose that because I chose this kind of leader-like question for Namjoon in the BTS tag also. But SUHO, I feel like he's one of those leaders, and I know that the members have said it before, that he's more of like a friend to his members than he is like a leader, and that's why they respect and love him, because he treats them just like his brothers. Okay, so my answer for this one is Harry Potter. I just thought of this because he kind of like leads people into battle, and he was like one of the people for Dumbledore's army and whatnot, but he treats all of his friends as friends, and he doesn't even think of himself that highly to even be like, yes, I am your leader, you need to respect me, da, da, da. He just like treats all his friends as the people that he loves, and he tries to protect them and love them as much as he can, and I feel, yes, that is my answer for SUHO. So, number 2 is XIUMIN, a leader who can exceed at anything that they are tasked with, and I say this because I desperately want him to be part of the dance line because I literally am in love with the way he dances. XIUMIN is just very versatile. He can dance amazingly, he can sing, he can act, he's just a well-rounded dude. And for this one, I keep looking back because my bookcase is over there, so I'm just like checking to see for characters because I didn't put any down before this. But for XIUMIN, I'm picking Katniss Everdeen because she was just very good at doing everything. She was really good at, you know, being a good sister and daughter and friend, but then she was also really good in front of the cameras for the, you know, for the games, and she was just good at pretty much everything she did. Even though she didn't want to be sometimes, she still pulled through and did it. So yes, Katniss Everdeen for XIUMIN. Next is Kai, my bias. So a character who's the absolute best at the one thing that they do, and I say this because he is my favorite dancer in EXO, in the K-pop world, girl and guy. He's my favorite. He's the best in my opinion. I think he's wonderful. And for Kai, I'm looking down at all my TMI books and whatnot. I'm going to pick Magnus for Kai because Magnus is just the best at whatever it is that he does. He is the best warlock. He's amazing, and he will excel and succeed at anything that he does. So I am choosing Magnus Bane for Kai. Next up, I have SEHUN, and I just picked a character who is very into fashion because he was at like Fashion Week in Paris recently, and he was like in Vogue magazine, I think, and he was just styling. Oh my god, and for this one I could have picked Magnus also. I need to choose somebody else now. You know what, actually for this one I'm currently reading The Devil Wears Prada. I'm a slow reader, so it's going to take me a while, and I also have to read another book as I read it. But for SEHUN, I'm going to choose Miss Miranda Priestley because she is the fashion expert and queen in the book and the movie. Meryl Streep, love her. Next up, I have Do Kyung-soo, a character who seems one way on the outside but is very versatile. He can sing and dance. He can sing in Korean and Chinese and Japanese and Spanish, and he can, you know, act. He is actually my favorite actor in EXO because they all basically act except for like Chen, I think, and Dio is my favorite. And for this character, I am going towards Harry Potter again. I'm actually going to pick Hermione Granger because she was, you know, the smarty pants, and she was just the one who was kind of a know-it-all, and people had this kind of thought that she was like I said, a know-it-all, and that all she cared about was her books, and all she cared about was like her good grades, and she didn't want to deal with like people really. But when you get to know her, she is absolutely lovely. She loves her friends with a passion, and she is willing to do everything and anything for them, and she is so sweet, and she loves very hard, and she's just great, and so I'm gonna go with Hermione. Next up, I have CHANYEOL, and I'm reading it. So a friendly giant type of character, or a character who stands out, and I say this because not only does his height make him stand out, not only in EXO, but in like the majority of the K-pop world, but also his voice is just it's the easiest for me to pick out whenever I'm listening to an EXO song. It's hard for me to like kind of distinguish the rest of them, but whenever I hear CHANYEOL, I'm like, yeah, that's him. Like, he's the easiest one for me to be like, yes, that's who it is. It's weird because Kaya is my bias, but whenever I listen to a song, I always have to like watch the lyric videos or whatever to figure out where he is, or else I had to like memorize his part, because I can never like pinpoint some of the vocalist parts in the songs. I'm like looking around at all the books that I have, and I'm realizing that I really need to read more because I am running out of like characters. But for this one, I think I want to choose Jace Herondale just because his beauty and his athleticism and his name and everything just makes him stand out in the Shadowhunter world. And when he walks into a room, everybody knows it. Everybody knows who he is. So we're gonna go with Jace. I'm gonna go with Jace. The next one that I have here is Lei, aka Yixing, and this is a character who is extremely expressive. And I put a note here that TV and movies is okay for this one because they don't usually. You can see the expressions on a character on television rather than in a book more. And for this one, I'm actually going to go with Chandler Bing because I don't even know if I've seen every single episode of Friends. I feel like I've seen all the episodes that are on TV, but I don't feel like those are all the episodes. And I have a Funko of him up there. You can't see it. But Chandler's faces just were always so funny, and he's so expressive, especially like because when he was awkward and like wasn't talking, he would just like make faces, and it was so funny. And also whenever I talk about them, I'm putting the pictures of the members from this era, from the Coco Bop era, and I couldn't find a tropical kind of picture for Lei, and that made me a very upsetty spaghetti. So I just put one of my favorite pictures of Lei right here, and I talked about this a little bit in the War album unboxing that I did right before this yesterday. And it's just, I'm so upset that he wasn't able to participate in this era. He would have done such a good job. He would have looked so good in the Coco Bop kind of like attire, and he would have done such a good job in the Eve choreography. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm really hoping that whenever he comes back, which I hope is soon, because he's just doing so much stuff. He just became like the ambassador of Converse or something. I'm like, whoa. But whenever he comes back, I'm really hoping that they do another kind of dance practice or something for Coco Bop and Eve, because I gotta see him dance to those. But yeah, so the next one that I have here is Chen, aka Jongdae, and this is a character who whines a lot. Because if you watch anything about him, there's this one specific video, and it's with Chen and SUHO, and I think CHANYEOL's there, I'm not sure, but SUHO is like mimicking his whining, and it's hysterical. The character that I'm going to pick for this is Adam from the Shadow Maid trilogy, because he was just a big old baby when Juliet, I remember, was that the main girl character's name, when she was like kind of being distant from him. He would like whine about it. So I'm gonna go with Adam from that trilogy. Tahara is supposed to come out with more books from that trilogy, and I am so excited because I read that trilogy. There's 3 books, and then there's like a novella, but there's 3 books, and I remember distinctly finishing that series, and Juliet's just standing there triumphantly, and they're like, yeah, more is to come. I'm like, man, this seems like the beginning of something, not the end of something. So when she announced that there was going to be more books, I was like, I knew it. But yeah, so finally the last character, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, the last character, BAEKHYUN. And this is a character who's really good at acting cute and getting what they want. And I say this because his character in the Scarlet Heart, Moon Lovers, there are different names, that K-drama, his character in that series was basically just BAEKHYUN in like historical attire. You know what, actually I'm like looking around in my books and I cannot think of anybody like a book character, so the character that I'm gonna go with is Lydia from Teen Wolf, especially in the earlier seasons, the first season in particular. I haven't kept up with that show at all, but it's a fun show to just binge, and so when I was binging it, Lydia was such a brat, and she would get what she wanted by acting how she did. And alright, so we are done with the book tag portion of this, so let's get on down to the EXO related questions. Let's start talking about it. Alright, so number 1, who is your bias? My bias, like I mentioned already, is Kai. In EXO, I feel like you're allowed to have 2 biases, so my second bias is Lay. But yes, Kai was my first bias. I just love him. I love the way he dances. I love his voice, sounds just very boyish to me, which I think is really cute. I love his face. He's very tall, and he's so great. And he's like an actor also, and I've seen like the 1 or 2 things that he's been in, but he's gonna be like in an actual drama starting at the end of the year, I think, that Andante one. But I think he is wonderful, and I'm going to talk a little bit later about something else about Kai, but I just love him. I honestly love all the members, but Kai just is always, my eye is always drawn to him. I'm always looking for him whenever I see a group shot. It's just Kai for me. Alright, so number 2, who is your bias wrecker? And you know what, honestly, all the rest of them, they're also great. I feel like more recently, like in the past few weeks since Coco Bop came out, I have been like kind of going towards Kyungsoo a little bit more. I just like him. I've always liked him, but I don't know what it is about this era. And number 3, what is your favorite EXO song? And my favorite EXO song is Call Me Baby. That is the song in the music video that got me into EXO. Everybody looks so good in that music video, and I just really like that song. It's catchy, it's fun, and I just love it. Number 4, what is your favorite EXO MV music video, and what is your favorite choreography? So my favorite music video, like I said, is the Call Me Baby one, and I also really love that choreography, but the other choreography that I seriously love is the Monster choreography. The 2 recent ones that came out, Coco Bop and The Eve, I really like those 2, but I love Call Me Baby and Monster the most. I just feel like I feel like Monster is just the most energetic. Like they look the most tired when they finish Monster, and it's just so intricate, and it's just I love that one. Yeah, so number 5, how did you discover EXO? So, Big Bang was the group, and Bang 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 was the music video and song that got me into K-pop. Like, I owe it all to them. Big Bang remains my ultimate favorite group. They're not doing stuff together right now, so it's gonna be a long time before they actually come back and do stuff, but I'm willing to wait. My second favorite is BTS, my third is EXO, but I didn't get into EXO until, I remember specifically, it was the week that the Monster music video came out last year. I think it was literally a day or two after the Monster music video came out that I started like looking into them and learning their names and like really loving them. And then I got to experience Lotto, that music video, as like an actual fan who knew about the group and the members. But yeah, so I was really, and still really into SHINee. I love them. And so I was like, you know, looking into them as one does, and I noticed that that Taemin the youngest in the group, it was really close friends with Kai from EXO. So I was like, let's look into Kai, let's look into EXO. And so basically SHINee and Taemin is what got me into EXO. And yeah, so Call Me Baby is what got me into EXO, what made Kai my bias. That mesh shirt and his hair and those pants, and every single time they would do a performance, you know how they do in like Mnet and all that afterwards, that there was one time when all the guys were wearing these blue suits, and I just have a thing for men in blue. I feel like it stems from this one picture of Chris Evans that I'll put right here, because Chris Evans and Kevin Spacey are my favorite actors. But regardless, Chris Evans, I just adore him so much. There's this picture of him and he's just looking gorgeous in blue. So every time I see an actor or just a dude on the street in blue, I'm just like, I'm looking at you more than I probably would. But yeah, so that is how I discovered EXO. I knew of them, but I was intimidated by the amount of members, which was only 2 more than like BTS, but still, I was intimidated by how many there were, how much I would have to learn about them. But now I can look at like half their face and know who it is. So yeah, number 6, what is your favorite moment in a TV show or reality show like Weekly Idol or anything like that? Or just your favorite video, like behind the scenes or whatever of EXO. Okay, and so I wrote, honestly, like all of their V lives where they're all together, not just like 1 or 2 members, but all of them, or at least most of them, they're so funny. They're so loud and ridiculous and just crazy, and they're so fun to watch, and I just love it so much. And they're supposed to have an actual reality show come out soon of when they were in North America, and so I'm looking forward to that so much. I loved EXO Showtime, like that they did years ago when like the other members were still in the group. One of them is always just doing something random. SEHUN or somebody is always just like super close to the camera, and it's so funny seeing them like just do something together, and I love it. Number 7 is, why do you love them? And again, I said this in my BTS one, and I can go on. I can make an entirely other video for this, but I basically love them. I have my reasons for BTS, but my main reason for EXO is just how talented they are and how well they work as a group. They just have such a presence on stage, and this is going to be the answer for like the 10th question or something, but like the I think it was the Mama Awards that they performed at last year. Dude, that was amazing. And then like they're just all so gorgeous, and like they all are just such models, and all of them act, except for CHEN, I think, and they're just so amazing, and they're so like multi-talented, and they seem like just really cool, down-to-earth dudes like by themselves, and yeah. But yeah, so number 8, which EXO album is your favorite? And I wrote probably Exodus, because I think Call Me Baby is on that one, and I really like a lot of the songs on that one. And then the repackage, because the Love Me Right song is on the repackage, and I love that song. I think it's great. Second place probably would definitely be The War, the latest album that they just came out with, and I'm super excited for the repackage. That should be coming out relatively soon. I'm gonna have to check out how long Lotto came out after Monster did last year. But Coco Bop and Diamond are my favorite songs on this last album. Dude, Diamond is amazing. Like the chorus, so good.
Shining, just like a diamond, burning, you like a diamond.
Yes. But yeah, number 9, do you have any EXO merchandise, and have you ever been to an EXO concert or a K-pop concert in general? So I've been waiting to do this video so that I can show off my album. One moment. But yeah, so I finally have some EXO merchandise, and it is their latest album. I have a video, an unboxing for this that I uploaded yesterday. I'll link it down below. But yes, this was my first one, and I also have a poster, and this is BAEKHYUN, and it's humongous. And then in this is version A, so I got this one specifically because I wanted the certain pictures in this one, and because the photo card looks like this, so I got BAEKHYUN and then Kyungsu. I was really hoping that I would get Kai for like this particular one, but I love all the members, so I'm not even mad. And I also have never been to an EXO concert. They were here. I live in California, and they were here last year, something. They were in LA, and so like I think I found out about it too late. I don't know why like it wasn't being advertised or like promoted more. I don't know. But no, I have not been to one yet. I really, oh god, I would love to go to an EXO concert. Are you kidding me? But I have been to a K-pop concert in general. I saw CL last year in November, and that was amazing. She is gorgeous and amazing and wonderful. But yeah, number 10, the last question for this one is, what is your favorite live performance by EXO? And I was just talking about this, but my favorite is honestly the performance at Mama last year where they performed Transformer and Monster, and then BAEKHYUN had his own little solo thing. Oh my god. And then SEHUN and Kai had their own little solo thing. Blew my mind. I actually have a reaction for that performance, and I'll link that down below too if you're interested. But oh my god, they are amazing. I am still not over it. There's this one specific particular part, and it's where Lay, Kai, and XIUMIN are dancing in the front of that thing when they're elevated, and they are, those three, I know SEHUN is technically part of the three main dancers and XIUMIN is not, but XIUMIN, Lay, and Kai at the top are my favorite dancers in the group, and so seeing those three at the front dancing in their whole attire and their makeup and their everything, it was like magic. It was amazing. And then Kai and SEHUN solo, and then BAEKHYUN at the end. So good. Yeah, so I have a bonus question for you all, and I did this also in the BTS, and my answer was J-Hope. But the bonus question is, which member do you think has the biggest difference in their personality versus their onstage presence? And for this one, I chose Kai. So he literally never acts the way he does on stage, the way he does off stage. He never brings Kai into like Jongin. I've never seen him like smirk or do his smiles or do like he does on stage, off stage. And like ever since I kind of first noticed this, I've been trying to like pay attention to him when he's on stage versus like when the music stops or when he's on a reality show or when he's doing in an interview. He's like honestly really shy, and I find it so adorable because you've all seen Kai on stage. He's out there. He's amazing. But when he, like, as soon as the music stops and he needs to stop performing, he suddenly gets very shy again, and he gets very like just not like Kai. It's insane. Then I have a note here that I confirm this even more because I was watching the dance practice for the Eve, and then I like compared it to any other performance that they've done of the Eve so far, and I was like staring. I watched it a few times because hello, but I was staring at Kai's face specifically, and when they do those certain parts in the dance, you know what I'm talking about? His face is very focused and it wasn't very expressive, and he's just staring at himself to make sure that he's doing the dance moves correctly. But when he's on stage, he's different. If I can find a video and if I can like edit it to put it in this video, I will put it right now. But just look at his face when he's dancing. It's crazy. I've mentioned 2 or 3 times already that he is my bias, but he is trained in ballet and like jazz dance or something like that, and his movements are just so elegant and so sharp and so like a dancer. And oh god, I have no dance experience whatsoever, but I just love watching him dance because he's like sharp yet smooth and elegant with his movements, and you can tell that he has some ballet experience, and they incorporate that in a lot of his specific dances, which I just love because ballerinas are gorgeous. But yeah, so I'm going to try and edit this so it's like not over half an hour long. So if you got to the end of this and if you watched it, then thank you so much. Like I said, I will have all of the questions and everything in the description. The tag, if you want, please leave a comment down below with the link or telling me that you did it, or you can tag me on any of my other social medias that I have linked down below. If you do this tag, I would love to see it. And yeah, so those are all my answers to these questions. I really hope that you liked this video, if not to do it, then just to watch. Yeah, like I said, those are all my answers to these questions. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!